Hi, I'm Dave Ward from the Ward Law Firm, and I help protect the business owner who's facing a divorce. And in this second part of our series on the top 10 mistakes that we see people make when they're facing a divorce, we're going to talk about having unrealistic expectations. And this can be a tremendous handicap throughout the entire divorce process for a number of reasons. The first and probably the most obvious is that having unrealistic expectations is invariably going to lead to disappointing results. A lot of people, when they are faced with a divorce, there's oftentimes a sense of anger and feelings of having been wronged through some aspect of either the marriage or through the process itself of being divorced. And people make the mistake of thinking that all of those things are always going to be taken into consideration into every decision that the court makes. And the reality is that's just not true. There are certain things that a court is going to consider, particularly as they relate to certain types of issues. But most people go into court expecting that the court's going to understand that you weren't treated a particular way, or that you weren't able to get certain other things, and the court's going to take those things into account. And they're very disappointed when they get to court and realize that those aren't the issues that the court is going to be considering, because courts, when they're asked to make these decisions, have a number of guiding principles that they're going to adhere to in evaluating the case and the evidence and making its decisions. And like I said, there are some things that the court is going to consider that will be important in this regard. But by and large, the court is going to just adhere strictly to those things that it's required to, and not take certain other things into account. So making sure that you approach the situation having realistic expectations of what reasonable outcomes can be in your case can mean the difference between coming through the process and moving on versus coming through the process and being extremely disappointed in the way things ended out. So if you have any questions about this, contact our office and we'll set up a time to do a real case analysis for you. I'm Dave Ward from the Ward Law Firm, and I help protect the business owner who's facing divorce.